What? I'm not going nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make some noise for the one, the only, Mr. Giancarlo Esposito! Oh, the man, come on.
I love you, Gustavo!
Woo!
Me too, baby.
That is the energy. Sir, how has this weekend been treating you?
It's been great. It really has been great. You know, I love this city, and I love coming to Comic-Cons because I really witness people being in wonder and, you know, expectation,
yes,
joy, and just having fun. And it's nice to be a part of that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And when I get to share the stage with you, you always give us a word. Like, you're so good at just finding the value and the beauty of life, and you share it with everything that you say. So I'm super excited about this. Coming off of Thanksgiving, we need the word a little bit. So we need that joy.
Thank you, Victor. You know, it's not without my own personal reminders.
Yes, sir.
You know, and that conscious choice every day. Are you going to enjoy this life, or are you going to walk around with your head in the sand? And you know, it really is that choice.
Absolutely.
We bow to pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me, I bow to pressure. You know, I've got, you know, get on a plane, get off a plane, learn my lines on the plane, get off, go to work, do social things, and I go, wow, is this a pressure or is this what I asked for?
Come on now, come on.
So then,
right?
I adjust my little attitude and I go, it's gonna be a great day today.
See, I told you, y'all gonna get a whole sermon. Now, obviously, Thanksgiving is a very, you know, it's family oriented, but one of the biggest things about like Thanksgiving is food. And you always give food for thought. And I was just curious, in terms of some of the characters that you brought to life, what are some of the side dishes that they would actually like to eat? So I made a list here. And just randomly, just kind of just picking one out of the ether here. What would be the top side dish that Gus Fring would want on his plate?
Oh my goodness, wow. You know, well, so I think that Gus would do something with arborio rice.
Come on now, come on.
This is what I think. I mean, you know, Gus wants a little spice, but something to ground that spice and some grain. So I think that's where he's at. Gus also is a seafood lover. Indeed. You know, so I think he would have some seafood soup. Oh, you know, that'd be something that would encapsulate his personality with a lot of different flavors, but a brothy undertone.
Who all wants to go over to Gus's house to eat right now?
Yeah!
Okay, let me just throw one out here. Let me just kind of be a little wild here. Anton Castillo from Far Cry 6, what would be on Anton's plate?
Arroz con pollo. I mean, I think Anton has a bit of an aggressive nature that is a little out there.
Right.
And so being from that island nation, you know, I think that he's trying to control by creating his viviro. I think Anton likes a lot of meat. You know,
meatitarian?
Yeah, meatitarian. I don't think he eats a lot of vegetables.
Okay, all right, that's fair, that's fair. All right, I'm gonna throw, I think this might get you. What would Buggin' Out have on his plate? Yeah, that's right, we're going home with it. What would Buggin', well, obviously you gotta take your shoes off. If you step on your shoes, that's a problem. But what would Buggin' Out have on his plate?
I mean, Buggin' Out's from Brooklyn.
Come on now!
You know, so he has some ribs on his plate. Let's go! Ain't no doubt about it.
We're eating good over here.
That's right. That's right. On a day when he didn't have enough coin in his pocket, he'd be doing that pizza. Extra cheese.
Listen, come on, give it to me now. You know what it is. Okay, last but not least, Moff Gideon. What would Moff Gideon have on his plate?
Sliced apples and sliced celery. I mean, come on, Moff gotta fit into that armored suit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just eating some pine nuts and shit.
Keep it lean.
Space food.
Got you. Protein powders, like that's just it. That's it. Now we know Stan Edgar eats everybody else's food, so that's just understood. We know what he's getting into. But I think this is like the perfect segue to talk about some of the many characters that you've brought to life and how you so perfectly capture presence for every scene that you're in, and it's phenomenal, it's remarkable. Stan is the perfect example where a person without powers bends the strongest man in the world to his will with just his look alone. Where does that come from in you?
Wow, it's interesting. I think in my life I've learned that I can't control anything, and I barely can control myself. So I have some practices in my life that allow me to figure out how to control my own emotions and my own self, which has made me be more observant of others. And I really believe that Stan Edgar is very observant of Homelander in many ways and understands what he needs. And so therefore there's no fear there.
Right.
I believe that he understands that Homelander needs a father figure. He needs to be validated by someone.
Yes.
Homelander yearns to be smarter. As you watch our show, he has all these people come in and out who give him advice,
right?
Because he can't make his own decisions.
Sure can't.
So Stan Edgar understands that and plays with that aspect of Homelander. And I think that he looks in people and sees what they might be missing. And for Stan, he uses that to be able to manipulate them. Now, if you were able to look at people and see what they might be missing, what would you do? Would you want to help them fill up that space that is empty for them by giving them advice or giving them a hug or saying something nice to them? Or would you want to use that in your favor to get them to do what you want to do? So I've thought about it, and I know for me, I want to be able to lift people up and empower them. And I know for some, that's not the case.
True.
They want to use their perception of others to give them more information so they can get ahead of the other.
That's deep. What I love about that too is that there's subtext in there of Stan Edgar being a man of color. Obviously, he's had to fight and claw up his way in this world. So not to justify it, but you almost go, this is what you've known. It's always been your back against the wall. So when you see these things, you're not necessarily doing it to give other people anything. You're getting what you can because that's what you feel is necessary.
Absolutely. I think of Ken Chenault,
yes,
when you mentioned this, who was the head of American Express, African-American man, very smart, very intelligent, very erudite. And I was very proud to see him at the head of this very powerful company. And I think of him because he was a good man and a nice man and did great things for that particular company. But I also think about Homelander and Stan having this conversation where information is disseminated, right? So information in our world, how do we get our information?
Come on now.
Right?
Let's go.
How do we get it? What do we watch to be able to, and what do we believe to be true? Right? So that's a question for each and every one of you. If you get your information from many different sources and then you are able to develop your own idea of what the real information is, then you know more than I think many want you to know. But it's about having your own mind and deciding for yourself what is true and what's not true. Now, in our media today, you watch one channel, they lay it out, and then you're talking, you're calling your mom, your father, your aunt, your sister, your brother, and you're expounding what you've heard. As opposed to what you've digested. Then thought about, and then realized, oh, there's an untruth in there. Or it's all true. So we're, in a way, brainwashed to step and walk the line and stay in line without all the information that is true. So you have to figure out how far you're willing to go to get the right information and what that information means to you. And that means looking for the truth of what you see and hear. Our media is in a position now in this country where it's entertainment. And if you can't see that entertainment, then you're blinded, you take in all the information, and you're entertained by the person disseminating that information, but you're taking it for face value without thinking about it. So why are we in this position? Well, because we're human beings and we are reactors. We hear something and we go, oh my God, wait, Victor, the world, the sky is falling.
Oh no.
Right? Oh no.
Right.
As opposed to sitting with it and going, oh, what, and looking somewhere else, and what do I feel from that I've just heard? So the mindful contemplation is what we need to then, regain in our lives to understand what is really happening in this world. I mean, so I believe that the dumbing down of the people is the process we're going through for a couple of reasons. If you don't want to know and you really don't want to have to make your own decisions, life becomes easier.
Well,
it's easier.
Well, you just go through the flow.
You just go through the flow, and
right?
Someone's telling you, what to do, and all of a sudden you look up one day and the country's different, and it may not be, the way you want it to be.
Right.
And so it takes, an attentive nature and a mindful nature to not react, but then to take in all the information and then make your own decisions surrounding it. You can disagree with what's happening, which is probably really healthy, or you can agree with it. But as long as you're making up your own mind, that's what's most important.
Come on, y'all, make some noise for that right here. Well, we're going to live in that just a little bit longer, because I think this right here is what makes Moff Gideon such a fascinating character. We, as the outside audience, are kind of taught that the Empire is bad. But him, as a member of the Empire, doesn't see it that way. And he's not bad for his perspective. We might not like the things that he was going to do to that poor little Grogu. I mean, that baby. That poor baby. But listen, that baby could represent something to the Empire as a true legitimate threat.
There's no doubt. I think part of my success in playing villainous or nefarious characters who give you the idea that they want to take everything over, that's part of my personality. I want to walk in the room and I want to control the chaos.
I mean,
who wouldn't?
But who could do it better than you? No one. Okay, I said what I said. You agree? Excellent.
I mean, we're living in a world that is insecure and unsecure. We want to feel safe. We want to feel comforted. We want to feel like we have a place in it. So in a way, the beginning of that feeling is to validate yourself. So Moff Gideon has validated himself. He also sees the world crumbling, and he has ideas on how to fix it. Now, he wants also, a part of me, as I play that character, says he wants to be able to eventually share what he finds out, i.e. through Grogu, those powers, to be able to share it with everyone. First, he wants it for himself.
Absolutely, he's got to taste it. He's got to make sure it's good for you. That's
right.
what it is.
That's right. So I keep that thought in my mind when I'm playing a character, because I don't want to be a stereotype, and I don't want to play someone who is just thinking that it's all for me and it's all bad, and I want to control the universe. I don't think there's a person in this room that doesn't want to control their universe.
Come on now.
Right?
Listen to the agreement that you just had. Everyone's like, he's talking to me right now. Yes, he is.
But it's not until you can't lead unless you can follow. You can't really be a part of the universe unless you surrender. You can't be powerful unless you first say to yourself, I know nothing, I have no power. You have to welcome that kind of inspiration. You have to welcome that kind of spirit into your life. You have to open your arms and go, tell me what to do. And I don't care what you believe in, what religion you are, if you believe in God and Goddess, or the energy of goodness, right? The energy of goodness exists. The energy of darkness exists too. It depends on where you put your consciousness and where you put your focus.
I need an organ, I need a choir, I need a deacon to come through and give us the announcements. Okay, that's beautiful. Because I think what it does is it shows us that thing that allows for us to connect to characters that we seemingly don't agree with, but we understand.
Absolutely. In this scene with Homelander and Stan Edgar in his office in season 2, he breaks it down for Homelander, and it wouldn't be what you think it is.
Right?
He breaks it down. He says, you may think that we are a superhero company.
Right.
But we are a pharmaceutical company.
Right.
We're about money.
Come on now.
Developing chemicals to be able to do what we do, and he breaks it all the way back down to Germany. And Homelander's standing there looking at him like he explains to him, you know, I'm not a babysitter, right? I'm the guarder of the gate to a huge company that is selling drugs.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you see any correlation here? I mean, if you go to your cabinet in your bathroom or wherever you keep your pills, and you start to count all the bottles you got for this ailment and that ailment, and this other ailment and that ailment, then you start to realize that you're being sold a bill of goods.
Yes.
Now you may need that.
Yes.
I'm not saying throw all your stuff in the toilet.
Don't do that.
No, I'm saying that there is another way to be able to heal not only your physical body. We've been convinced it's a quick fix. That's the deal.
Right.
It's a quick fix, but that is some. How much are they charging you for them drugs?
Come on now.
Come on,
listen.
So you have to pull it all the way back to go, how can I start to maybe do this naturally? How can I start to wean myself off of the 5 different things I'm taking? We get a cold, we take a pill. We get this, we take this. We get this, we can take this. And all of a sudden, we're on 10 different things that straighten us out and keep us conscious. When the truth of the matter is, you don't need any of it. But we've been convinced we do.
Y'all make that noise.
Yeah. Again, we're a part of this bigger picture system, and we have bought in because we believe.
Come on.
So the mind is powerful.
Yes.
And when you start to really investigate the depth of your breath and the depth of how you can speak to your organs and have them respond, then you start to get with the fact that, oh, I can do this. And that's the way you have to feel.
Come on.
If you get cancer or any life-threatening disease, yeah, we're gonna go and try to get it radiated and chemoed and all these other things. But I've heard some stories.
Come on.
Of people who are in stage 4 cancer on their deathbed, and they have epiphanies. They go into a dream, they see their dead father, all these things happen. They actually see the nature of the congestion in their systems, and when they come back, they clear it out, and they're like, the doctors don't understand, right? That's a blessed position to be in.
Yes, indeed.
And then your life changes, because you mentally change your physicality. And you live different after that. And you become, in a way, connected.
Yes.
And this is what we miss in our lives today. The connection. Down to the simple connections of sharing what works. Sharing something with someone that is complimentary. I like your smile. Wow, you have beautiful eyes. If it's the truth for you. But we're not used to saying that anymore. Good morning, how are you?
Right.
I like the color of your hat today.
Thank you. I wore it just for you, I'm not gonna lie.
Color orange is a high spiritual vibration. So when we start to project our lives in this way, then every moment changes. Because whether we know it or not, every word we say, every interaction we have, has the ability to change our attitude. And so when we start to focus on learning how to do that, then our lives change.
Come on, dog. Clap. Here's the thing that makes this so great. This is how the universe is working. We have this game plan, and we've got this fun thing that we're gonna kick this off in just a minute, and it fits so perfectly with what you're talking about, where the dissemination of information, we see a little bit, and maybe we understand something, maybe we don't, maybe we need to get a little bit more information to fully understand it. We have a game that literally is going to showcase that right now. So I'm gonna ask the tech guys if they can kick up our game for us. Now, we've got this image here. This is a scene from some of your work. Now, could you guess what this is? Off the top of your head, right now, based on what you're seeing here, do you know what this is?
Wow.
Does anyone know what this is?
Far Cry 6!
I mean, I feel your energy.
Bugging out.
Do the right thing. Maybe. let's get a little bit more information. Let's try one more slide. Let's try one more slide.
Oh, baby! Far Cry 6, baby.
That's what I'm talking
Got
about.
it, baby.
Let's go ahead and go to the clearest image possible. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
My man, who was that?
Right there.
My man, you got it, baby.
Absolutely. You know what? I think we've got a t-shirt that we're going to give you. So, me? Yeah, you won this one. You got a t-shirt coming. So you just hang tight. Don't worry. When we tell you you're going to come up, you get a t-shirt for that one. Good job. Let's go to the next one. Limited information. Can you see who it is? Whoa, wait, I heard it back there. Good, I need you to stand up. Let's get some more imagery here.
Come on, bring it.
Come on, let's see it.
Oh man, Stan Edgar.
I love it. Change the slide.
Change the slide. Where we at?
A little more.
We got a little bit more.
Adam Caldwell from The Godfather of Harlem.
I mean, listen, that's not far. But that right there is the Stan Edgar.
Stan Edgar.
Come on. Make some noise, y'all.
That's right.
Look at that face. He's telling somebody that they weren't ready for it. Let's do one more. I heard it on this side. Who said it on this side? We all did. Is it? There was somebody like I heard very clear. Is it that one right there? That's standing up? That said it? Y'all, listen, I'm gonna give it to you right there. You stand up. I feel you. So let's keep going. Again, this beautiful idea that you can have limited information, but then there's something that you can understand, you can know, you can pull. And the more information you get, the more you understand what you're seeing. You, sir, I don't know how you just pulled out. Yes, I did. You're genius. That's what it is. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were saying. I think one of the things that is super important for everyone to get out of this conversation is a little bit more of the how. Every day you wake up and you make a decision. How do you come to that decision about the greatness that you have the potential to bring into the world? Is it something that you aim for the greatness, or do you center yourself and recognize, just in this moment, I'm gonna do my best, and hopefully that is great?
Yeah, you can't wait to be great. Don't wait to be great, because what are you waiting for?
Come on now.
Another course, another great meditation, the right prayer. Don't wait to be great. You know, I get up and I do my mindful practice, and then I try to get out of the way. You know, sometimes what we have forgotten to do, because we have busy lives and we get up and we're rolling right away, is to check in. I call it, you know, taking someone's temperature, taking your own temperature.
Yes.
How do I feel physically? Okay, am I in my body right now? Okay, am I in my right mind? Am I breathing? Am I nervous? Am I anxious? I start to, you know, identify how I'm feeling in any given moment throughout the day, but mostly first thing in the day. And then I look at, okay, I have obligations and schedule and all that, but I take my temperature first. And then I decide that I'm gonna get out of the way and do my duties as allowed by my soulful energy.
Come on now.
As opposed to by my ego energy. So I can get up and move through the world and say, it's all about me. Or I can get up and move through the world and say, it's all about we, it's all about us. And what am I here to do today? So sometimes my simple prayer is, guide me. Which way, tell me which way to go, tell me the words to say. And it's that simple.
Yes.
And I feel as if whenever I get out of myself, I pull myself back, and go, guide my path, guide my words. Oh, universe, oh, energy of the universe, what should I be doing right now? Even when people are bowing down to me and my ego wants to explode because I'm the baddest man in the world. You are so cool, you're so this, you're so that. I have to still remember that I'm me. Right? So that I'm able to ground myself and have this energy that I have so I can share it with all of you.
Thank you for that. Guys, I want to flip things over to you, give you the opportunity to ask a couple of questions. We've got the microphones here. We're going to bounce back and forth, and we'll start on this side and work our way back over. Hello, friend. Tell us your name and what's your question.
Hi, I'm Nate. Victor, you've been crushing it all weekend, buddy. Great job. And the signing team, the unsung heroes.
Make some noise for the ASL team, for sure.
Yeah. Time and Of course, Giancarlo, thank you for being here on Thanksgiving weekend. You didn't have to do that, but you chose to. So thank you for being here for all of us.
My pleasure.
I'm curious, your legacy is vast, your catalog's deep. You are a master of your craft. How do you keep developing new ways to sharpen and hone your skill set, even though you already have intellectual tools, physical tools, and you can use dialogue and or do nothing to be horrifying, inspiring, and more importantly, feel like a lived-in character? How do you keep developing those skills?
Giancarlo remaster. Come on, let's go. I mean, it's a constant remastering of my attention span. You know, every script that I get, I don't go back to a character I played to figure out how to create this character. I allow, you have to allow space in your life for inspiration, which means you have to ask a question and wait for the answer. And I'm impatient, so I don't want to wait for the answer. I want it yesterday. But when I'm playing a role, I've got to allow the words of what the writer has written to speak to me and feel, do I have any ideas surrounding it? So, you know, for me, I'm still excited about every character I play, and I look for new traits that I haven't portrayed before. And how can I start to investigate that? And so I think that's what's allowed me to stay in it and to be completely committed. You know, what you do today determines your tomorrow.
Well,
and if I have a script in front of me, then that's determining what I'm going to do in a week, in a month, when I get in front of the camera and this role starts. I don't start the week before, 3 days before, and I start silently. And I try to allow it to speak to me, as opposed to me speaking to it. So in that way, I'm really a child, unjaded, and that's how I continue to look at my work. There's something it's going to teach me.
Right.
Yes, I have experience, but the experience is in the building blocks of creating the character. And with each character, those building blocks shift around, so that I'm always in a vulnerable state to allow it to speak to me, and then I start to figure out what that voice is saying and how to do it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Ken.
Hey.
Good morning, Mr. Esposito.
Hey, Ken.
Now, from your work, going back to school days, all the way up to Star Wars, there you go. I've enjoyed your work, and I look forward to seeing you in Captain America, Brave New World.
Yeah, man.
That's right, that's right.
Now, I don't like horror movies, but I went out to a theater earlier this year, and I saw Abigail.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
And I got exactly what I came for. It was a horror movie, but it had comedy. And I love seeing your role in that. I want to know, what did you see in that movie that said, I didn't want to be in that?
You know, so as an actor, you want to explore different genres. And I had never explored that particular genre. And when I got the script, I thought it was interesting. The young girl who plays Abigail is exceptional. And when the role came in and I read the script, I thought, oh, there was a big misdirect behind my character. So it was exciting to me. People would think, and I would even think when I read it, that I was here to control all the chaos and do a certain thing. And then the twist comes in, and I was like, oh, this is exciting for me. So again, you know, to do the same thing all the time is not what I'm in for. And I went out on a limb, and we always go out on a limb to do something different. If you've always done what you always did, you always get what you always got.
Come on now.
Right?
Come on.
So to be uncomfortable in an awkward situation is actually kind of great, because you're exploring some feelings that you haven't explored before, and it allows you to be more vulnerable, more open. So I saw an opportunity here to have a transference of energy from beginning to end that I thought was very exciting.
It worked.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Very welcome. Hello.
Hi, my name is Danielle. So obviously you've played in a lot of really iconic universes, from Once Upon a Time as the Magic Mirror, to Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, to Star Wars and now Marvel. Is there any major universe, whether it's already been put to screen or not, that you one day dream of being part of?
You know, lately I got my eye on Freeze.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, I don't know. You know,
Saints, you listening?
This has come up in social media before, but you know, my optometrist, I was making some glasses for a character I'm about to return to in The Gentleman in April. And so I start early, and I figure, what's he gonna look like? I'm trying to figure it out. And so then, you know, of course, optometrist, freeze with the goggles, he sends me a picture. And I went, yeah, I've seen that rendering before. And all of a sudden I went, oh, and I like diving. He had that big armor on, absolutely. You know what I mean? And I've always been fascinated by that kind of diving when you're in that old school armor. Freeze kind of looks like that. So I started to look up a little bit about Freeze, and I started to think, oh, that's coming for me. You see, that's the invitation. That's how Marvel happened.
Yeah.
Thank all of you fans who wanted me to, I mean, thank all of you.
Yes.
I mean, the fans wanted me to play Professor X.
Well,
And that blew up on social media, and that led to me having a conversation with Marvel, and that led to something else, which I'm very happy about. And this Captain America 4 is going to blow you away. You are going to love it. You're going to see me as you've never seen me before.
Love it.
But yes, I have my eye on Freeze. I'd love to play Pushkin, a Russian poet, philosopher, musician. There are many things I'd like to do, and I'm cultivating them one by one, knocking them off my bucket list.
thank you for that. I'm not saying I love Mr. Freeze, but his name Victor sounds good. I just want to throw that out there. Hello, Fred. How you doing?
Hi, how are you doing? I'm a big fan. I wanted to personally thank you for playing Gus, Moff G, and Stan Edgar. And my personal favorite actually was Faraday.
Yes.
Come on.
Love that. I have a question. Why did you get into acting? And was there like an influence, like some guy you looked at when you were growing up, like, I want to be like that?
My mother influenced me a great deal. She was an opera singer and had a beautiful voice and never really came into her own and really made it. She made it in Europe and did a few tours of Porgy and Bess and sang opera, where she met my father in Giancarlo Opera in Naples. So I grew up in a household with an Italian father and a black mother where there was always creativity in music and arias playing and going on. And cut forward to their divorce and me watching a television show with my brother and seeing a commercial where we saw the first African-American kid on a commercial ever. And we were struggling financially. And I looked at this and I went, I could do that. Wait, I could do that? And so it was really a way of me getting out of, like, we look for families to join when our own family is falling apart, right? If you have the guts to get out and say, I can't be here anymore, you find another family to become a part of. And in this case, the family I found was on the Broadway stage, the family of performers, the family of actors, who created a world for all of you that looks to be real, but is a fantasy world. I wanted a better life, and that's what led me to acting, and the rest is history. I found that family in 13 Broadway musicals, and then I found that I wanted to go further. So nothing comes without work. Nothing comes without dedication. And so because of my love, I wanted to know more, right? When are you in a situation where you're in a gig and you want to know more? How often are you in a job interview where you're interviewed and they ask you 1,000 questions, they say, thank you, we'll be in touch. Wait. Well, tell me about your company. What can you offer me? Is there room for advancement? If I have ideas, are you open for me to share them with you? Right? Your value means something.
Come on now.
But when you start to tell them with your value on whatever level it is, to say, I want to contribute, and you voice that,
Yes.
and you say that, are you open for a contribution? Then you're really understanding what your value is, not only in the workplace, but also in your community and also in the world. We need you to understand that you are powerful, that there's something that each and every one of you has that we need. So share it. Come on, share it today.
I want to lock my shoes. I want to take them off and throw them across the room. I'm being professional now. Okay. Hello, friend. How we doing?
Hi. First of all, Giancarlo, thank you just so much for your work in Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Like shows like that,
Yes.
really just like made me go like down the rabbit hole to like crime dramas in that kind of style. And And my question, it's on the topic of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Kind of a what if. It's if Hector did not suffer his stroke, what do you think his dynamic could have been with Gus, or what could his possible storyline could have been with Gus?
Well, interesting question. I think, I first of all, I should say that I miss Margolis terribly. A dear friend who I've known for 40 years. Hypothetically, there would have been an incredible ongoing standoff between Gustavo and Hector Salamanca. It would have been that of Braun from the Salamancas and that of Brain from Gus. And I think it could have extended further, without a doubt. And Gus would have been threatened miserably so until he figured out how to do away with Hector. But there's something about the juxtaposition. We have an animal nature. So when I think about controlling my animal nature, my base layer, right? I think about, we've become a society that's more refined, but still we're animals. And so the animal instinct is in us. And so it would have been a real juxtaposition between the animal nature of the Salamancas, whose instinct is to just take you out and kill you right away, and a more refined nature of Gustavo Fring, whose instinct is to build something. Whether it be, from a nefarious background or not, he's trying to build something. So that's my answer.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I want to warn the room, we've got about 10 minutes left. We'll try to get to as many folks as we can, but we got some special prizes that we're going to give away to those that are still in line. Hello.
Hello, I want to thank you for all your acting and giving us your time to give us fans to answer your questions and our questions. My question is, if you played your character Faraday on Cyberpunk, I really love that character. If you could give us any backstory, any made-up backstory on how he got to become a fixer, just any background and lore on this character, what would it be?
Well, I really love Pulp Fiction. I love the idea because I have a hero complex and I'm also a people person. And I also I have 4 daughters, so I want to fix everything. And so the fixer, to me, is an important human being in our society. I've learned that no one's going to fix me. So if anybody out there can help me, fix me, please. I'd love a fixer. So Faraday came to me because it was a Japanese animation, and when they showed it to me, they asked me to do it. They didn't have an American version at all. So I'm watching the whole thing in Japanese. So here's a great example of having to use your powers of discernment and your ear. So I watched the whole thing in Japanese to figure out what's really happening. What is this story? And then I get in the studio and they ask me to fit the English over the Japanese to make it work. And I'm there on the mic in the moment, spontaneously figuring out how to squeeze it all in and have it work, and to have the right attitude, and to play in the frame with other actors who I can't yet hear because they're doing the other characters. But you have to figure out. I figured out how to get it, and when I got it, I felt it, and so that's kind of my story. This was a quick couple of weeks where I had a couple of sessions. And I had to figure out, am I hitting it? Is it right? Does it feel good? And I certainly found a rhythm, and it felt good to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My question is, while preparing for the role of successful franchise owner of Los Pollos Hermanos, did you draw inspiration from real-life fast food chains like KFC or El Pollo Loco?
KFC is my enemy. I don't cook it, their chicken is frozen. My chicken is only chilled. No, I have to be honest with you, no. I drew inspiration from almost my childhood when I was in a military school, Mount St. Joseph Military Academy in Newburgh, New York. And it kind of started with the clip-on tie, and I felt at home. When I had a clip-on tie, because that's what I wore in military school, right? Because now I tie my own tie and I'm good at it. So that was one thing. I worked in restaurants. So in a way, the answer is yes, because I've worked in many different restaurants as a busboy and then a waiter, bartender, but my forte was being a waiter. And so I drew on my experience as a waiter to figure out how to make people happy and ask them if their meal was good and they were happy and is everything to your satisfaction? Would you like a refill? And so that is what I drew on to bring that character to life.
Thank you.